You remember when GPT-4 first came out, right? The internet just went wild. It felt like every other post was a screenshot of it passing the bar exam, or writing perfect code, or summarizing an entire book in like 30 seconds. It really felt like we were living in the future.
And then you tried it for yourself. You open up that little chat window and you typed in something like, write me a business plan. And what you got back was, well, it was kind of bland, kind of robotic. And you're just sitting there thinking, wait, this is the thing that's supposed to change the entire world? Well, here's the thing. It all comes down to one of the oldest rules in computing. Garbage in, garbage out. The quality of the answer you get from an AI is 100% tied to the quality of the question you ask it.
But here's the secret. The people getting those absolutely mind-blowing results, they're not all coding wizards or AI researchers. They've just gotten really, really good at one simple skill: how to write a good prompt. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Yep, we are going to walk through 5 simple rules that will take your AI chats from kind of generic to genuinely genius. This is how you unlock what these tools can really do.
So here's our game plan. We're going to cover being specific, giving the AI a role, using examples, making it think step by step, and last but not least, the magic of iteration. You ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, rule number 1. It sounds so obvious, but this is where almost everyone messes up. You have to be specific. I mean, really specific. See, we're all used to treating things like a search engine. We type in a few keywords and hit enter. But the AI has no idea what your goal is, who you're talking to, or what tone you want. So it just kind of guesses. Just look at the difference here. Write a cover letter is so vague. But when you add all that juicy context, the word count, the job title, the applicant's experience, it's not a vague request anymore. It's a proper brief. It's like you're talking to a super talented new hire and telling them exactly what you need. This flows perfectly into our second rule: give the AI a role. This is something people call persona prompting, and let me tell you, it is an incredibly powerful little trick. So why does this work so well? Well, think about it. These AIs have been trained on basically a huge chunk of the internet, a universe of text. When you give it a role, you're essentially telling it which shelf in a massive library to pull its information from. You're pointing it to the right expert. And the impact is just huge. You ask it to explain why my code is slow, you'll get a decent answer. But when you tell it, you are a senior software engineer who specializes in Python performance optimization, whoa, you get a completely different caliber of answer. It's detailed, it's insightful, it's what an actual expert would say.
All right, on to rule number 3, and this one is a real game changer. Use examples. You know that old writing advice, show, don't tell? It's the same idea here. Sometimes it's way easier to just show the AI what you want instead of trying to describe it with a bunch of words. Now, the fancy term for this is few-shot prompting. It comes right out of the AI research papers, and it is one of the most reliable ways to get the AI to nail a specific style or format you're looking for. You just give it a couple of examples of a pattern, and boom, it gets it almost instantly. Rule 4 feels like a genuine superpower. You have to tell the AI how to think. And this is so important because under the hood, these models are just predicting the next word, one after another. They don't naturally stop and, think. And that's how they can jump to conclusions that sound super competent but are actually wrong. So when you tell it to think step by step or work through this logically, you're forcing it to slow down. You're making it show its work, which seriously improves its reasoning, cuts down on mistakes, and best of all, lets you actually see its thought process. The difference is night and day. Instead of just asking for an answer, you ask it to walk you through the decision systematically. Just adding a simple phrase like that gives you a way more thoughtful, nuanced, and honestly more trustworthy analysis. And that brings us to our final rule, rule number 5. And honestly, this might be the biggest mindset shift of them all. You have to stop thinking of your prompt as a one-and-done command. Start thinking of it as the first thing you say in a conversation. That first response you get back, it's just a first draft. The real magic happens next. You can say things like, okay, now make it punchier, or give me 3 totally different versions of this, or even, hey, what are the flaws in the argument you just made? You're not just giving orders, you're collaborating. And here's a super practical tip to take with you. Spending your time on 3 quick rounds of back and forth will almost always get you a better result than spending that same amount of time trying to craft one single, absolutely perfect prompt from the get-go. So there you have it. When When you put all 5 of these rules together, they're not just a bunch of tips. They really are a new kind of superpower. They transform you from just being a user into being a skilled prompter.
And this is not just some fun little party trick, okay? A major study found that about 80% of workers in the US could see their jobs impacted by this stuff. Learning how to communicate with AI isn't just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's quickly becoming essential.
So let's just run through them one last time super quick. Be specific, give it all the context. Give it a role, assign an expert persona. Use examples, show it, don't just tell it. Make it think, step by step, force it to reason. And finally, iterate. Treat every interaction like a conversation.
You know, the best part about all of this is that it isn't some super complex technical thing. It's really a skill of communication, of being intentional. It's just about taking an extra second to think, what am I really asking for here? Look, the gap between people who know how to use these tools well and those who don't, it's getting wider every day. But as you've just seen, it's not a hard gap to close. You now have the keys to do it.
You have the ability to unlock so much potential here, not just from the AI, but from yourself. So I guess the only question left is, what are you going to unlock first?